Hello everyone, this is Lam here. In today's Fuji Friday, I want to talk about a subject that's going to come across a lot of people, and that is, should you sell your X-H1 and upgrade to an X-T3? Now, like a lot of people, I've actually purchased the X-H1 when it first released, and that was less than a year ago. And when I was purchasing it, I was actually thinking about getting an X-T2, and when I heard it was going to be a video first mirrorless camera, I definitely wanted that camera over the X-T2. I haven't been disappointed. I really enjoy using the X-H1, but as the new X-T3 comes out and we've gotten the official specs, it's really impressive. It is an upgrade almost all the way around. If you look at it, we have a better sensor, we have better autofocus, we have better EVF, we even have a better processor. All the way around, it's going to be a better camera, and it's going to hold up well to new firmware that's going to be coming out. The real first question is, should X-H1 owners be annoyed that the X-T3 is superior in every way in less than a year of the X-H1 releasing? And my answer to that is no. Right now, the mirrorless market is heating up dramatically. We're seeing a lot of big players enter into the market, and I don't believe a smaller player like Fuji, even though they have a very loyal and robust community, I don't think they can hold back on the type of technology they're going to be putting into their cameras. Right now, the best thing they can do is to stuff their cameras, their latest generation of top-end cameras, which is their X series, with the best technology they have. This is the best way to stay ahead of the competition and also attract new people to their cameras. If you think about how market works right now, there's a lot of people getting opinions that full frame cameras are always going to be more professional, and that's what you need to gravitate to. That's what a lot of people are going to say. It takes a while to actually shoot with full frame and then go and compare between crop sensors and full frame and figure out where you want to be and if full frame is really truly what you really need. For me, for example, what I've noticed is that when I was shooting full frame with Nikon, I was shooting 36 megapixels. I was jittering literally 50 megabyte JPEGs, and when I was uploading to websites, what I've realized is that most websites don't want 50 meg JPEGs, okay? They're just going to downres it to a megabyte anyways. So what I was doing is I was generating these large files, saving these large raw files, and I wasn't really getting any benefit out of it because I wasn't doing any prints of it. There was really no pixel peeping for anything that I was doing. So when I moved over to a crop sensor, it saved me on cost, it saved me on weight, and I still really enjoy using the camera system. So it was an all-win situation. But I still think the best strategy is to throw the best technology into each camera and then let the community just sort itself out. Now, having said all that, one of the things that do annoy the community is that they spend literally $1,900. I did too. And now, less than a year later, a camera that costs $400 less has better specs than the X-H1. I know there's going to be some grumbling, but really at the end of the day, you want the community as a whole to be stronger. And if that means producing the best camera possible and growing the community, that's really going to work out well for everyone. Now, a person like myself, I am going to pre-order an X-T3 because I do want an extra camera body. The video features are stellar, and it's also a little bit smaller than the X-H1, which means it's going to be a little bit more portable for me for everyday use. So it's going to replace my X-T20 as my everyday carry camera, and I'll go ahead and shift the X-T20 into more of a backup role. Having extra camera bodies when you're doing YouTube stuff, especially if you actually have a series talking about Fuji gear, it's very useful. 2 camera bodies are probably the minimum, but having 3 is super useful. Trust me, there are a lot of times when I'm creating videos, I'm looking around trying to find another camera body because I just need that third point of view, or I'm actually talking about a camera body and I need 2 cameras that are actually recording. So for those of you who don't want multiple camera bodies, you're definitely going to have to think about how you use the cameras. If you're going to be in situations in which you're going to be shooting for long periods of time, I would definitely recommend sticking with an X-H1 because the ergonomics really are conducive to that. Plus, with the in-body stabilization, it gives you a little bit of leeway when you're using lenses without optical image stabilization. And at low light situations, it definitely comes in handy. To be able to shoot well below 1/60th of a second and still have very sharp images, that's really nice to have. Now, if you're a person that's going to be more of a casual shooter, or if you're only going to be using the camera body in spurts, or if you want to travel light, then I would recommend going to the X-T3 because it just seems like it's going to be a better camera for you. Plus, the updated specs are really good. the extra processor, even though most people don't harp on it, that's actually really powerful because that's going to be able to support future firmware that's going to give you extra features. Now, if you're going to be a YouTuber, both these cameras are going to have quirks that you're probably going to have to deal with, but I really need to get the X-T3 in my hands to figure out whether or not it's actually going to be easier to use than the X-H1. I find that the autofocus system for face detect works perfectly fine on my X-H1s. It's very good. I really want to try the X-T3 to see if it's any better. I really do need to get an X-T3 in my hand so I can do a side-by-side comparison. But right now, there is a small window if you're an X-H1 owner in which you can kind of maximize your X-H1's value because the X-T3 currently isn't out. If you're looking to sell now, this is probably the only window in which you're going to maximize your value. Afterwards, the camera's probably going to drop in value because the X-T3 is going to be out. I don't think it's going to sell out and have a long back order just because there's so many new cameras coming into the market right now, but it remains to be seen. I definitely want to know your opinion on this. If you're an X-H1 owner, now that you know the X-T3 specifications, are you still happy with your X-H1? Are you planning to upgrade, or are you going to get both bodies like me and probably find a use for both of them? Personally, I'm really excited. I hope that Fuji continues to put their best technology into each and every one of their X cameras. The only thing that I really want is I would like to have a flip out screen so I don't have to put an external monitor on. That would save me a lot of headaches and would save me a lot of weight and also hardware. But other than that, I'm very happy with the Fuji system. I'm glad they're continuing to upgrade their cameras, and I'm looking forward to using the X-T3.